Hey gang, Scott here. I got a tip for you about tinting in your black and white photos. You know, that step where we'll add like a sepia tone or selenium or a cyanotype, you know, something that's emulating a particular kind of print that we would make with black and whites back in the day. I would normally do this with color grading, but I was wrestling with that and came up with a different approach, leveraging luminosity masks, you know, luminance ranges in Lightroom. And I wanted to share that with you. So in this video, I'm going to cover a few things. It's like, you know, would I normally do this with color grading, where I started to have some struggles, and why I pivoted to this other technique. I will say this is in addition to color grading. This is not a replacement, and I will preface with, I think this works really well when you have a single tint that you're wanting to add to the vast majority of your photo. If you're doing like real, like, you know, more color grading work where there's, you know, one tint for the shadows, a second tint for the midtones, a third tint for the highlights, I suppose you could adopt what I'm going to show you, but you'd end up with multiple masks to manipulate and so forth. So I like it for my use case here, black and whites, and adding the single tint. So let me show you what's going on here. So I have this black and white photo. I've done my adjustments on it. I've done all my masking. And for me, I add the color tint toward the end. I guess that's just how I like to process. I'll do the black and white, you know, straight up, and then think about adding the tint. And so for this example, I'll show you like a selenium tint. So I saved presets for this. So over here, I've got these tinting ones. I'm hovering over this selenium one. You can see it's getting this bit of a cast before and then after, getting that like plum color in there. So if I click on that and apply it, we'll see that, you know, color grading has been added, and particularly in the shadows. You know, there's this particular, you know, real magenta-ish tint, very low saturation, and it's biased very much toward, you know, the shadows, you know, treating more things as shadows. So more of this tint is getting in there, right, before and after. And where I was struggling is, I was like, well, you know, I'm struggling with, if I want this to creep into the highlights more, I can't just go, hey, balance, you know, move that over here, because I've only added the tint to the shadows. I don't have anything in the midtones or the highlights. And, you know, well, what if I wanted it to be stronger? You know, well, okay, I started increasing the saturation, but that was getting a little bit too hot, you know, like color-wise. So let me reapply that. So we're back to where we were. Here we go. That subtle selenium tint before and after. You know, how could I emulate that or replicate it in another way? And that's where I turned to masking, and sometimes an overlooked portion of the color area where you can actually select a color for a tint overall, and that's what I chose. So let me show you this different way of getting that same type of look, and then finally, why am I kind of, you know, keen on using this longer term? So let's reset that color grading. So the color grading's gone. I'll open up the masking area. Can you see what's going on? So I've got a bunch of different masks on here, and I have this other tint that I have up in this black and white area. I'll hover over that. You can see the same thing that happens before, after. It gets that subtle, you know, plum selenium type tint. I'll click on that once, and it's added this one additional mask in here. And if I open that up, it's just a luminance range. But you'll notice the luminance range is very much biased toward the shadows, although I'm tapering it off. I'm choosing to keep the pure blacks very black, and then letting it slowly extend out to all the way to the highlights. And if I really wanted to, I could say, you know what, let me protect that very upper part, so pure whites stay white. So I've already got a little more control here with what is going to be affected than what's actually being applied. Here in the color area, it's this swatch right here. Let me open that up, and I effectively have that same, roughly speaking, same magenta tone at a very low saturation. So I end up with that same selenium tint. But now, like, so great, Scott, wonderful. You've replicated what you did with color grading. All right, you showed me you got a little more control with the luminance range, because I do. I mean, I can extend this and say I want more into the midtones and highlights just by using the luminance range. But what I'm really enjoying is the amount slider. You know, I can say, give me more of that, give me less of that. And this in combination with just pushing the range of the luminance. And if I really want this to be applied everywhere, I'm going to say, you know, apply it across the board. And I can control the entire tint with the amount slider. I'm finding that to be really, really helpful. Let me get back to where I was, reset that so I've got my original settings, because I did want to bias this toward the shadows. But this combination of using this color here in the color area of a mask, where you can supply a tint which affects well, everything that your mask affects. And you can see here, I'm really protecting those very bright highlights. It just tapers off into nowhere, and those very deep shadows are protected. But everything else gets this nice gradual, in this case, selenium tint, right? And I've done the same kind of thing. If I delete that one, here's another example of like a cyanotype, which has got that more cool blue color to it. Same idea. This one I'm doing more broadly, but you know, it's just that blue type tint. And these tend to be very low saturations. And there you go. That's a different way of applying a tint using a mask. And I think a luminance range mask is a very convenient way to do that. You can affect all of the ranges, and the mask effectively is a big white box affecting the entire photo. You just control the tint as you like, or you get the additional control with the luminance range. And you get the amount slider. So you need a little more, you need a little less, depending on the photo. It's very easy to adjust, and you're not having to say, if you were applying the same tint to shadows and midtones and color grading, you don't have to go visit both of those adjustments to do things. So I'm finding it to be very helpful. I guess one last thing I'll add in here is, you know, well, how am I creating this little, you saw me use this preset where I clicked the one thing and all it did was add the mask with this particular color tinting. Very easy to do in Lightroom. Here we go. Go up to your menus, and in Develop, you're going to choose New Preset and do this. Check None, and then only pick the item that you care about. In my case right here, it'd be cyanotype. You know, give it a name, put it in a group just like you normally would. Once you save that, not only is your preset going to be called, I usually name it the same thing, cyanotype. When you add it in as a mask, it will show up exactly like that here. And you can save things like luminance ranges as well as color tints. I'll usually set the amount to 100 so that when it comes out of the gate, it is, you know, at its nominal setting. And then from there, you can dial things in. And actually, this cool tone looks pretty nice on this ice here. So I'm gonna increase that and push that a little bit harder there. But there you go. I hope you found the video useful, helpful. Give you another approach to tinting. Again, I will caveat it with, I think this is great for single color tints. You're doing multiples. Yeah, you can stack multiples up, but you'll have more fiddling to do, at which point you're kind of back to the same problem I was trying to overcome with color grading in the first place. Any questions, go ahead and drop them below. And until next time, my name's Scott Davenport. Have fun.